need to remind you what is out there?
Once upon a time, I had somebody that I cared about. And in this world, that sort of shit's good for one thing. Getting you killed.
Even from the first gameplay trailer that we saw at last year's E3, it was clear that The Last of Us was something special. The Last of Us is not a game, not a singular story. It is an experience, one that will define what this generation was capable of. I can certainly tell you that the PlayStation 3 is going out with a bang rather than a whimper. The Last of Us is, and always will be, the benchmark from which we must compare every next generation title. If this is possible on the PlayStation 3 now, then how much more do we need to deliver on every Xbox One and PlayStation 4 game? The story in The Last of Us takes place in a near-future post-apocalyptic world in which a fungal infection has created monsters out of the population, both literally and figuratively. Whereas some have become infected beasts, the survivors aren't much safer, in the sense that they're still out to get you. You play as Joel, a hardened survivor trying his best to make it through his struggles, while keeping his sense of morality intact. His only real hope at a normal life is Ellie, a young girl who has no memory of what life was like before the infection broke. Raised in a quarantine site in Boston, she has always been a survivor. The interplay between these two characters is the highlight of the game. Ellie is not just a Natalia-type AI drone, but a personal character who you really want to help succeed. Miraculously, Sony had also managed to keep the multiplayer elements of the game quite secret up until its release. But there is in fact an online deathmatch mode that pits groups of human survivors against one another. The feel in multiplayer is just as ambient and visceral, and it also includes a great crafting system based on the single player. But overall, the multiplayer is not the reason you'll love The Last of Us. It is derivative and will just make you want to replay the stellar campaign. It does feel like Uncharted 3's multiplayer, a bit though. The artificial intelligence in this game is unmatched. The survivors are desperate and crazy, and willing to do literally anything to save themselves. Ammo is scarce, which forces players to make the most of the environment, and their large arsenal. Nothing is more satisfying than bombarding some wayfaring enemies with a Molotov cocktail. In conclusion, the story is grounded, gritty, and you can tell that Naughty Dog really put everything they had into its creation. Naughty Dog is one of the best developers in the world, hands down, and I can't wait to see what blockbuster they unveil next. The Last of Us is the best game on the PlayStation 3, and it is a console and generation-defining game. You owe it to yourself to pick it up. The Last of Us gets a 10 out of 10.